So we have some exciting news. We got the February upcoming updates notice, and I will say this. This is one of the best looking patches that we will get, right? There's a balance patch, which will target all units that actually need buffs, and there will be a lot of other exciting changes. So let's start it out. So first of all, the balance patch. So these updates will happen on the next week, February 8th, right? And in the balance patch, we have Water Raven, Water Beetle Knight, Water Beast Monk, and Water Valkyria, which I feel like all of the units that really need the buffs. Then there's the Fire Archangel, Fire Beast Monk, Fire Chimera, and Fire Hell Lady. Again, all units that I barely see used, so hey, that's perfect. Wind Paladin, I'll get to that in a second. Wind Raven, Wind Archangel, Wind Beast Monk, and Wind Chimera. Quite excited to see what they do with the Archangel, because after a single buff he became like top tier in Sky Arena, so hopefully it becomes a little bit better here as well. And then for light attribute, Raven, Archangel, Beast Monk, and Chimera as well. And for the dark attribute, Raven, Beetle Knight, hey, I at least have a Beetle Knight, and the Dark Beast Monk, right? And now for the Paladin. So yes, it probably isn't a surprise that this will not be a buff, this will be a nerf. So overall adjustments will be made to Night type monsters to be better support for DPS monsters. So it looks like they will be shifting Night monsters instead of dealing sort of healers to sort of maybe giving them buffs, giving them offensive stuff, right? Something to encourage DPS rather than be better healers than any other support unit out there, right? So yeah, they will be adjusting Wind Paladin survivability as it's considered excessively high. Way too late, like half a year too late, but yeah, better now than never. And now another small change which I feel like will change the meta a lot. So for Arena and Siege battles, we plan to make adjustments so that you no longer receive any HP recovery effects when there is little time left until the end of the battle. Because let me tell you, Siege, especially in Siege, a lot of teams will go like quadruple sustain, super tanky, super shield heavy units, and they will just try to out heal you. Basically, the match will not end with a kill, it will instead end with whoever has more HP on all of their units. So hopefully this shifts it a lot and makes both Arena and Siege a little bit more tolerable, right? On top of that, we got two new transmogs. So the Beetle Knight we already saw. It seems like they didn't implement it last time, but I think it's a battlefield award if I'm remembering correctly, so that's why it will come out in this update. And we'll get a Jack-o'-lantern upgrade as well. On top of that, we're getting some more transformations for the summoner, and it looks like one of them is a new one. Look at that. So you'll be able to be a winged panda to increase your fishing speed. That's probably like the nav 5 equivalent of like with the water skydancer and the fire beetle, right? So they have nav 5 equivalents. Wind panda will now have a fishing equivalent. However, look at this. Transforming into the Dark Cowgirl will allow you to obtain additional items being sold in the shop. A lot of the items in shops are quite rare, so hopefully it's not just like 3 extra pickaxes or something like that, but it has potential. It has potential. We'll see what they come up with. On top of that, we have some new artifacts coming out. So 2 artifacts will come out, so legendary ones for beast monks and legendary ones for Raven. So let's just quickly review them, because I haven't even looked at these artifacts. So Fire Beast Monk, when using meditation skill, which is the heal, like the single target heal, recovers its HP by a certain amount based on its defense. When enhanced to a certain levels, using the meditation skill will remove the harmful effects on itself. Also, from what I'm guessing, it will heal and remove the harmful effects on the target, and with the artifact it looks like he will cleanse himself as well, right? Water Beast Monk reduces damage taken by a certain amount with the defend effect and removes immunity from the target when that attacked the defend target. Oh! When enhanced to a certain level, defends the team member with the highest attack in Arena and Siege battle. Okay, so it looks like he will now strip immunity whenever he counters. And he can counter a lot, like as long as the unit is getting hit, he will counter, so oof. That's potentially a very good unit coming out soon. Wind attribute, so when hit by the enemy with attack up, increases the crit resistance by a certain amount and applies attack down. Oh, he already applies defense buff, I believe, whenever someone is attacked by like attack up effect, so it looks like he'll get crit res as well. Although I'm not gonna lie, I don't think attack up is that popular currently, right? Maybe with like Galleon or occasional Huahi or Leona pick, but I don't think attack ups is... I don't think people use attack up that much anymore. It's mostly just CC and just chip damage, you know? So, we'll see how that plays out. It is sort of a counter to Fire Kina, I suppose, though. So we'll see. And we have the Light Beast Monk. Upon removing a beneficial effect, applies skill acceleration to itself when enhanced to a certain level, so recovers a team member's HP upon removing a beneficial effect. A stripper that heals. You know what? That's kind of interesting. I just remember that yesterday I was looking for a stripper that also did healing, and looks like they're just putting it out there. I was just testing it out for World Boss, right? Instead of like Tiana, I was looking for a stripper that also heals and strips. So, hey, maybe, right? Maybe. And the Dark Beast Monk reduces damage taken by a certain amount with the defense skill and removes a beneficial effect from the target that attacked the defense target. So yeah, Dark one is like an upgrade to the Water, right? Water only removes immunity, Dark one removes any effect. And when enhanced to a certain level, defends the team member with the highest attack in Arena and Siege Battle. Okay, now let's look at the Raven ones. Okay, Fire Raptor. So Karambit, when using the basic skill, removes a beneficial effect from the enemy. When enhanced to a certain level, apply spell shield to itself when using a basic attack. Okay, that's OP. That's OP. Removes a beneficial effect on basic attacks. Basic attacks. Oh, okay, yeah. Mate, Karambit, I was already using Karambit. He's so strong. He's about to remove beneficial effects and gets bullshit. That might be the first artifact I actually summon on. I haven't summoned a single artifact yet. That might be the one. That might be the one. Water Raven, when taking damage over a certain amount of max HP, applies spell shield to itself, and when enhanced to a certain level, applies frostbite for every beneficial effect it removes. I don't think that will have any use at all, honestly. Wind Raven applies Endure upon taking lethal damage. When enhanced to a certain level, increases damage dealt during souling. Ooh. I did test the Wind Raven, I kind of liked it, but it was also very situational, so we'll see how that plays out, yeah? Light Raven, damage dealt increases during Soul Link. When enhanced to a certain level, revives upon defeat, and penalties for revival do not apply in this case. Self-revive just from the artifact. That is powerful. I think the light one is like very big on dodging skills, like evasion and all that. So, ooh, he's gonna be a pain to kill, even more now, actually. And the Dark Raven applies Endure upon taking lethal damage. When enhanced to a certain level, removes a beneficial effect when using a skill to attack the enemy affected by invincibility or shield. Ooh, those are very specific conditions, so I don't know how much this part will affect it, right? But Endure upon taking lethal damage, again, that's... Although I'm not sure, because like, purple artifacts already give Endure for assassins, right? So, if the second part isn't that great, why not just use the purple artifact, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I am a fan of the fire artifact for Ravens. Not a huge fan of the other ones. Light does seem cool. Light does seem cool though. And on top of that, we have the Mystic Witch Atelier event. I definitely butchered that word. Where you can obtain Devilmons and various scrolls will start. So that's just the stuff that's coming out next week, right? And now we have even more updates for the February 22nd. And trust me, these are the big ones. Oh, yes. Believe it or not, we have the unicorns. They look sick, by the way. They look absolutely sick. Love that. And we have some teasers for their skills actually, so yeah, let's review that. Okay, so we'll see how similar they are to the Sky Arena versions, right? So Fire Unicorn uses shield and continuous recovery and increases the summoner's ultimate gauge. Upon meeting the condition, ultimate gauge increases. That could be big. When the attack target is affected by certain effects, while in incarnation form, I have a feeling incarnation will be like the human form, right? I mean, they will have two forms, most likely like beast riders, but they will probably be able to switch between them rather than wait for them to die, right? So yeah, let me see. While in incarnation form, uses the skill once again, increases the attack based on his HP destroyed and increases the crit damage based on the number of beneficial effects on the target. Ooh, I'm not a fan of the crit damage based on the beneficial effects, because when the enemy has beneficial effects, they will usually be defensive effects, right? So does that crit damage really matter? We'll see, we'll see. Water Unicorn. Oh, by the way, these look like they're all night types, and they did mention night types being sort of buffers to your offensive units, right? So I'm expecting sort of like buffer support stuff from them. Uses provoke an immunity and applies freeze with a certain chance upon meeting the condition. If a team member without defense up gets hit by a skill, applies defense up. Oh, whoa! This actually sounds powerful if it's like a passive. When transported into the incarnation form that covers the HP of all allies, applies immunity and increases the defense. Takes less damage from provoked enemies and increases the recovery gain. Ooh, so the transformed form looks very similar to the Sky Arena version. And the unicorn will most likely be more focused on freezing, right? Like freezing and defense up. So yeah, this one looks like a purely support / healer sort of thing, right? Okay, Wind Unicorn Diana applies shield and continuous recovery and removes a harmful effect upon meeting the condition. When transformed into an incarnation form, applies undercoverable and defense down and increases attack. Oh, undercoverable and defense down. However, it does say remove harmful effect, not beneficial. So it looks like in unicorn form she will shield, continuous recovery, and cleanse. And in human form, she will apply undercoverable, defense down, and increase attack based on HP destroyed. Interesting. So this one looks more like an offensive unit to me. Light Unicorn. Oh, that's actually, by the way, backstory, the only Light and Darkness 5 that I had in Sky Arena, the Light Unicorn. So hey, hopefully I get it here as well. Uses provoke an immunity and applies stun with a certain chance upon meeting the condition. If a team member without the damage taken down effects hit by a skill, applies damage taken down to them. And when transformed into the human form that covers allies' HP, increases critical resistance, decreases the damage taken, takes less damage from provoked enemies, and increases allies' crit resistance in Arena and Siege Battle. Very, very defensive sort of support type unit again. Like, okay, they mention making your DPS unit stronger, and then they give damage taken down crit resistance. This will be a problem. This unit will definitely be a problem. It lowers the damage so much. Think about it. Damage taken down is already 30% at level 1. And then crit resistance on top of that? That's nasty. And Dark Unicorn, so applies shield and continuous recovery. Okay, it reflects a certain amount of damage taken to nearby enemies and provokes nearby enemies every certain period. Every certain period, so a passive potentially. Ooh. And when transformed into human form, ignores target's damage mitigation effects, increases the damage taken, and applies block harmful affected removal. Takes less damage from provoked enemies and increases attack based on HP destroyed. It looks like Fire Unicorn, Wind and Dark. Yeah, so Fire, Wind and Dark, the ones that did DPS, get attack based on HP destroyed, and Water and Light will just be purely support type units, even though it says night type, but I mean they are supports. Quite interesting, I don't know. They look pretty decent. Some of them a bit worse. I feel like stuff like Fire definitely doesn't interest me as much, but Wind, Light, Dark, those look pretty good. And just a short notice, of course, the max floor for Spires Ascension will be extended. It says to 40 floors, but I'm guessing by 40 floors. And look at this, you'll be able to obtain Light and Darkness Transcendence Scroll and Little Dragon Transmogrification. Love that. Also look at that Perna transform, come on, how cute is that? And if you thought that's it with the monster transformations, no. Light Gore and Dark Amazon transformations will be available, and transforming into those monsters will increase the monster affinity gain. So monster affinity is the little system where you can get up to 5 hearts with each monster. So it looks like while you are transformed, you will be able to get some sort of a bonus from those, right? Light Gore will most likely be a lower bonus since he's in at 3. Dark Amazon will most likely be a little bit higher. So yeah, if you are planning on evolving a lot of units to those stars, like affinity stars, affinity hearts, whatever you want to call them, it's best to hold on until February 22nd, because you will be getting a little bit extra bonuses from there, right? And also it looks like there will be some sort of a Joshua's Bookshelf new system, right? So from what I'm reading, it's gonna be very similar to the current monster research system that we have. If you like open the collection book, the whole new second tab, right? So you'll be able to discover hidden stories between monsters and explore their relationships. You can enhance monsters' abilities and get bonus rewards by completing the mission. So it looks like perhaps based on the owned units, you'll have to do some sort of missions, right? Like let's say you want to increase the stats of your like Perna, right? You will need to do some sort of missions for Perna, maybe like kill enemies, kill creatures, stuff like that. We'll see, but it does sound quite exciting, right? And furthermore, monsters with high affinity level will use various emojis in certain situations. What? And now some news for the whales out there. So account level 61 and above rewards will be reworked a bit, right? So the rewards will include some of their outfits, which you can see here. There's one of them. I think both of these have been teased. There will be new rides that have been teased as well, right? I'll get to that. But yeah, a paladin transmogrification. Again, we got them anti-gravitational. Let us leave it at that. A new title, so there's like next to your name or whatever, emoji maximization marble, light and darkness legendary scroll, and light and darkness transcendent scroll, another one. Just in case you didn't have enough fights from spires, you'll get one here, but again, it's probably gonna be like level 90 or something, so don't expect free-to-play players to get it, and you'll be able to obtain these items at once upon reaching the account level. And a few more changes left, so there will be 6 new purple artifacts added, so 1 per class it looks like. They haven't given us any details on those, so we'll have to wait until the update date to see what those stats are. But yeah, I'm always excited for more purple artifacts. I personally like them more than most of the legendary ones, so yeah, we'll see. Now another feature which is more like a cosmetic, right? So library of the collection. So it looks like when you meet some sort of conditions for your monsters or summoners, you'll get various like pictures, backgrounds, there's even music it looks like, based on those summoners, monsters, right? The missions that you do. So hey, if you are someone who actually enjoys in-game music and you are a rare kind among us, hey, that's more motivation for you. And last small changes coming will be to battlefield, right? So first of all, the smaller changes that they will be giving some sort of extra rewards for players who are entering the battlefield solo, because as you know now solo and parties have been matched together, and yeah, it's difficult for solo players. So it looks like they will be getting some sort of extra rewards. There are already extra rewards for pity when you get matched with higher ranks, so looks like there will be additional ones for solo players, and it looks like you will be able to play Battlefield infinitely. However, once you have used up your tickets, you will not get any rewards, only some support rewards, which they mention will be similar to the 8 rewards, so most likely not a lot, like 1 token and 10,000 gold or something like that, but you will be able to play infinitely. That means you can help out your party, right? If you are someone who is a pre-made, but one of you only has 3 tickets and the others have 12, you can still play with them and help them out, right? And yeah, that's about it for the developers note. Very exciting changes coming, especially on the first update. I'm very excited to see the balance changes there. And yeah, peace.